I'm searching. When I read the Bible, there's two things that I do. One, I say everything that every man out there in Radio Land has ever said about the Bible is bullshit. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to read the Bible for what it says. I'm going to look at the intent of the author, or at least the intent of the word that was used in the old languages. I'm not going to listen to anybody's opinion. I don't even know if Rome was real, right? We don't know anything about these kind of histories that you talk about. The second thing I look for is what is called self-evident truth or self-existent truth. Those are the only truths that actually exist. If I look at a tree, it's self-evident. I don't need to put a name on it. I don't need to give it a history. I don't need to know who its mommy was. It's self-evident, its existence. I don't need to question it. I don't need to name it unless I want to make it my property. Then I put a name on it, and I do all kinds of evil things to it, right? So when I'm reading the Bible, what I'm looking for is self-evident truth. And that's what the Bible tells me to do. And guess what? That's what you find. Now, I say in my book, look, the Bible's got a curse on it, or rather mankind has a curse on it, which is to say that if you go and you read the Bible and you're looking for some evil shit, you're going to find it. Because how do you explain good without explaining evil at the same time? How do you know anything unless you know its fucking opposite? You don't, right? So when you're reading the Bible, you're looking for wisdom. If you're reading it to prove some scholar's theories or some Jewish theory or some Christian theory, that's what you're going to get. But if you're reading it simply searching for the law of source, the law of foundation, law of reality, that is what you will find, because that's what's written inside. And that's the litmus test. Look for what is reality, what cannot be denied. It's not because the Bible says it. It's because the Bible is talking about something that's already exists. This is ancient knowledge. Bible is not the original. It's actually a simulacrum, which is a copy without an original. There's no original Bible. Right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the only end-all, be-all book. I'm telling you this is a collection of ancient knowledge that has been suppressed from all of us, including you and including me, that has put us into this legal system. And I'll tell you one more thing. I would never have been able to understand what the Bible was trying to tell me, except that I wasted my freaking life learning the legal language, which is what I started writing the book about. The legal language and how it's completely metaphoric. It's completely opposite to every word that you use. If I say for, it means against. If I say, there's not even a definition in legalism for love. They say it's an inducement to contract. In other words, inducement to marriage. When I'm reading the Bible, I'm simply looking for the self-evident truth. I know it when I read it. I don't need the Bible specifically to tell me that that's what I'm seeing or hearing. It's self-evident, right? God is defined as all that is self-evident and self-existent. Not a thing, not a person, not a place. If you look at it, if you read the Bible with eyes that want to see, ears that want to hear, then that's what you're going to get. But if you approach it with all these preconceived notions and all the different tricks that have been used to steer you away from the Bible, then that's what you're going to get. Because you're not going to do the study. You're going to read something, you're going to say, oh yeah, I'm familiar with the English language. That's exactly what they told me. Instead of going, well, what does that mean in the Greek? And how does that compare? Is it out of context? Did the king change the word to suit the king? What actually... I'm telling you, unless you do due diligence, and unless you at the same time compare the legal language or the legal man to the spiritual man or the spiritual law, so the legal man and the Christ man, and they're walking together, and you can see their paths laid out together, that's the only way you're going to understand this thing. And that's what I tried to do with this book, is to lay out the two paths. We're on the legal path. We're all on the wrong path. Well, no matter what we believe, no matter what we think in our heads, we're all acting legally. Every one of you has a driver's license, has property, has title, has all these things the Bible says not to do. And because of that, you're stuck in the money system. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's self-evident.